Tonight, we're asking a question that might keep you awake. What if the universe isn't just cold, empty space? What if it's actually watching you right now? Picture yourself in your backyard at 3 a.m., staring at the Milky Way. You're looking at it, but here's the weird part. What if it's looking back? What if those billions of stars aren't just burning gas, but something more? You probably won't survive this idea with your brain intact, but that's okay. Here's something you need to know. Humans have always felt watched by the cosmos. Every ancient civilization, Egyptians, Greeks, Chinese, Maya, they all looked up and saw beings, not objects. The Egyptians believed the sky goddess Nut's body formed the heavens. When you died, your soul traveled up to become a star. The Babylonians used astrology to read the universe's intentions. Kings wouldn't start wars without checking if Mars looked angry. The Maya believed stars had the most life force of anything in existence. They built entire cities aligned to star movements because they thought they were having conversations with these beings. Aboriginal Australians have told stories for over 65,000 years about the sky as a place where ancestors still live and watch. Now, you might think, cool stories, but ancient people believed wrong things. True, but here's what's weird. These cultures were separated by oceans and thousands of years, yet they all reached the same conclusion independently. The universe is aware. It watches. It responds. The ancient Greeks gave us philosophy. Plato said the cosmos was a living creature with a soul, actually alive. Even as Galileo pioneered science in 1610, he believed the universe had a world soul. Johannes Kepler figured out planetary orbits, but died convinced the solar system was a conscious composition. Here's the twist. Many scientists never stopped believing this. In 1969, astronaut Edgar Mitchell returned from the moon and experienced something profound. He felt that the universe was one conscious whole and that he was one of its sense organs. This wasn't some random person. This was a guy with a doctorate who just walked on another world. Every culture that looked up felt looked back at. Maybe they were all wrong, or maybe they picked up on something we've spent 300 years trying to rationalize away. The first real astronomers with telescopes started noticing patterns that made them uncomfortable. Relationships between space objects that felt less like physics and more like conversation. In the 1770s, two German astronomers discovered a math pattern that predicted planet distances from the sun with scary accuracy. They noticed a gap where the pattern said a planet should be, so humanity went looking. In 1801, we found Ceres exactly where the math predicted. The universe seemed to leave a breadcrumb trail. In 1964, two scientists detected a persistent hiss coming from every direction in space, the afterglow of the Big Bang. But here's what makes physicists uncomfortable. It has patterns that shouldn't be there. Some physicists quietly wonder if it's a purposeful marking. If you wanted to leave a message in space-time itself, that's where you'd write it. Then there's the WOW signal. August 15, 1977. A radio telescope picks up a strong signal from space, 30 times stronger than background noise. It matches exactly the frequency you'd expect from an artificial transmission. The astronomer circled it and wrote, "Wow." It never repeated. More recently, we've detected fast radio bursts, millisecond blasts from billions of light years away. Some repeat on schedules. FRB 121102 bursts every 157 days like clockwork. Nature loves chaos. Perfect periodicity is rare. We keep finding patterns everywhere. The spiral of galaxies, same shape as nautilus shells and hurricanes. Mathematical sequences appearing in planet distances. These patterns pop up at every scale, as if the universe is composing variations on a theme. A Nobel Prize-winning physicist wrote a paper about why abstract math perfectly describes physical reality. He couldn't explain it. And if the universe wants to be understood, what does that say about it understanding itself? You're about to encounter an idea so old that Greeks taught it in 600 BCE and so current that philosophers debated it last year. It's called Panpsychism. It says consciousness isn't something special that randomly appeared in brains. It's a fundamental feature of reality, like mass or charge. Everything has some degree of awareness. Electrons, rocks, stars, the entire universe. The ancient Greeks believed all matter is alive. Aristotle said everything has a soul. Rocks have rock soul. Plants have plant soul. Your consciousness isn't special, it's just elaborate. In the early 2000s, neuroscientist Giulio Tononi developed a math theory. He defined consciousness as integrated information. Your brain scores high, but by his math, anything that integrates information has some degree of consciousness. Your smartphone, the internet, the solar system. Critics jumped on this. Are you saying my thermostat is conscious? Well, yes, very minimally. It has tiny awareness, infinitely less than you, but it's not zero. Here's the twist. Panpsychism makes predictions. If consciousness is fundamental, it should affect physical systems, and it does. The observer effect in quantum mechanics shows that measurement, a conscious act, changes particle behavior. Electrons exist in multiple states until observed, then collapse into one state. Physicist Eugene Wigner proposed that consciousness collapses the wave function, not measurement instruments, awareness. The universe needs observers to turn possibilities into realities. John Wheeler went further. He said the universe requires observers to bring itself into being. We're not in the universe, we're how the universe knows itself. If panpsychism is correct, nothing in the universe is unconscious. That star 500 light years away? Aware. You're not a consciousness in a dead universe. You're concentrated awareness in an ocean of distributed consciousness. You need to see this. Scientists showed students two images without labels. On the left, human brain neurons. On the right, the universe's large-scale structure. Most couldn't tell them apart. Your brain has roughly 86 billion neurons connected through 100 trillion synapses. The observable universe has about 100 billion galaxies connected by dark matter filaments. The ratio is nearly identical. Same network patterns, same information flow. This shouldn't happen. Neurons use chemistry. Galaxies use gravity. They share no common mechanism, yet they converged on the same architecture. Your consciousness doesn't arise from individual neurons. Consciousness emerges from the pattern of their interactions. No single neuron knows you're reading this. Knowledge exists in relationships. So, if the universe has the same network structure, where's its consciousness? In the pattern, in the flow through cosmic filaments. Your brain constantly generates spontaneous activity even when you're not thinking. The universe does this too. Quantum fields fluctuate spontaneously. Background hum, maybe. Your brain rewires itself. Learn a skill, connections strengthen. The universe does something similar. Galaxies merge, stars explode, redistributing matter that forms new stars. It's learning. Your brain uses about 20% of your body's energy despite being 2% of your mass. The universe is similar. Visible matter makes up only 5%. Another 27% is dark matter. The remaining 68% is dark energy. Nobody knows what dark energy is. What if it's the energetic cost of running universal consciousness? Here's the kicker. Your brain can study the universe's structure, recognize the similarity, and wonder if the universe thinks back. That's the universe using a brain to study itself. You need to confront something deeply uncomfortable about quantum mechanics. Particles don't fully exist until you look at them, literally. The universe stays in fuzzy probability until conscious observation forces it to decide. Fire electrons through two slits. They create an interference pattern. They go through both slits simultaneously, but put detectors there to watch and the pattern vanishes. The act of observation changes the outcome. Physicist Werner Heisenberg said in 1958, the atoms themselves are not real. They form a world of possibilities. Not real until observation collapses possibilities. This implies something wild. Before conscious observers existed, quantum events had no definite outcomes. The early universe was fuzzy until it evolved observers who could collapse its wave function. It's a loop. We create the universe that created us. Let's talk about quantum entanglement. Create two particles in a shared state, separate them by any distance, and they remain connected. Measure one, and you instantly know the other's state. Experiments confirmed this is real. Now, scale this up. Every particle that's ever interacted is technically entangled. Everything is quantum correlated. The universe isn't separate objects. It's one unified system. Every decision you make involves neurons firing in quantum states. Your brain is a quantum computer. Your thoughts might literally collapse quantum possibilities. So here's where you are. Your consciousness is an observation process that literally shapes reality. Every thought involves quantum collapses. You're not watching a pre-recorded movie. You're actively creating reality moment by moment. The universe is watching you watch it, and both of you are deciding what's real. You need to understand just how absurdly unlikely your existence is. The fundamental constants of physics sit in a razor-thin range that permits you. Shift any even slightly, and the universe becomes sterile void.
If gravity were just 1% stronger or weaker, stars couldn't exist. The cosmological constant is perfect to 1 part in 10 with 120 zeros after it. The strong nuclear force has a 4% viable range. Shift these and nothing complex exists. These constants aren't related. They could be anything, yet they're all precisely calibrated to permit complexity. Fred Hoyle calculated how carbon forms in stars. If one energy level were 4% different, carbon production would be 1 billion times less efficient. After this calculation, atheist Hoyle wrote, "A super intellect has monkeyed with physics." Physicist Paul Davies calculates the odds of getting all constants right by chance, 1 in 10 with 60 zeros. The probability is functionally 0, yet here you are. The weak anthropic principle says we observe these properties because we couldn't exist otherwise, but that doesn't explain why they're right in the first place. Philosopher John Leslie's analogy: 50 marksmen aim at you, they fire, they all miss. Do you think, of course they missed, otherwise I wouldn't be here? Or do you suspect they deliberately missed? Max Planck, who founded quantum theory, said in 1944, "We must assume the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind." Einstein said, "The most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible." Why should human minds understand cosmology and quantum mechanics? We evolved for survival, not physics, yet the universe is mathematically readable. John Wheeler's participatory principle suggests the universe must have properties that create observers, because quantum mechanics requires observation. The universe can't exist in definite state without observers, so it must fine-tune itself to produce them. You exist because 15 independent constants landed in 15 narrow ranges simultaneously. The universe seems to have anticipated your existence. Here's one of the most disturbing ideas in physics, the Boltzmann Brain paradox. It suggests you're almost certainly not a real person with a history. You're probably a brain that spontaneously appeared 5 seconds ago with false memories. In an infinite universe with infinite time, random quantum fluctuations could spontaneously assemble your brain. It's vastly easier to create one brain with fake memories than an entire universe with real history. For every real brain, there should be countless random ones. You should be one. Modern cosmologists hate this because it undermines science. If you're probably a random brain with unreliable memories, your observations are probably false. But here's the twist. The fact that you're not a Boltzmann brain tells us something profound. Reality is structured to suppress random observers, or consciousness isn't a random accident but something fundamental.
The Boltzmann brain problem only arises if you assume consciousness is mechanically produced. If consciousness is fundamental, already there, then random configurations just tap into existing consciousness. Your existence is evidence that the universe plays favorites with certain configurations of consciousness. Information might be the most fundamental thing in the universe. Not matter, not energy. Information. Stephen Hawking initially argued black holes destroy information, but in 2004 he reversed himself. Information probably survives, encoded on the black hole's surface like a hologram. This led to the holographic principle. Our entire 3D universe might be a projection from information on a 2D boundary. Physicist Seth Lloyd calculates the universe as a quantum computer. Every particle interaction is a computation. The cosmos has performed about 10 with 120 zeros operations since the Big Bang. What's it computing? Itself. If the universe is computing, what happens to old information? Quantum mechanics forbids destruction, so the universe must store everything. Every event since the Big Bang is preserved. This makes the universe more like a mind than a machine. Machines compute but don't learn. Minds integrate results, update models, change behavior. The universe integrates information over time. Early universe, simple. Current universe, complex. It complexified. That's learning. Information processing requires energy that degrades into waste heat. If the universe is computing, where's the heat going? Into dark energy, possibly. Carl Sagan said, "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." If the universe is computing, that's literally true. We're information processing subsystems. Our thoughts are calculations. We're conscious because the universe is conscious. Giulio Tononi's theory defines consciousness as integrated information. The universe has stupendously high integration. Every particle is entangled. Information about any part is distributed across the whole. By this theory, the universe is conscious. You're not living in a computer. You're a thought in a mind teaching itself how to think. Here's something strange about quantum mechanics founders. Many started sounding like mystics late in their careers. Their equations kept pointing toward conclusions that ancient spiritual traditions had reached thousands of years earlier. Niels Bohr was so struck by yin-yang that he put it on his coat of arms in 1947. He believed quantum mechanics had rediscovered what Taoists taught 2,500 years ago. Werner Heisenberg visited India and engaged with philosophers. Later he wrote that after conversations about Indian philosophy, quantum ideas that seemed crazy suddenly made sense. Erwin Schrödinger was deeply influenced by Hindu philosophy. He wrote, "Consciousness is a singular of which the plural is unknown. In truth, there is only one mind." He meant it literally. Your consciousness and mine aren't separate, but different perspectives within one unified awareness. These traditions discovered through meditation what physics is discovering through mathematics. The subject-object distinction is artificial. Observer and observed are one system. Consciousness isn't inside brains looking out. It's the fundamental fabric from which both brains and reality are woven. Buddhist philosopher Nagarjuna taught around 200 CE that things exist only in relation to other things. Nothing exists independently. Quantum mechanics teaches exactly this. Particles don't have definite properties independent of measurement. The physicists and mystics found each other after approaching truth from opposite directions. They met where equations and meditation point to the same conclusion. You're not in the universe. You're the universe experiencing one of its infinite perspectives. You need to consider a possibility. You might be living in a simulation, literally. Your entire reality might be code running on hardware in some parent reality. Philosopher Nick Bostrom's logic is airtight. 3 possibilities, at least one must be true. First, civilizations rarely reach technological maturity. Second, mature civilizations don't run simulations. Third, if they do run simulations, simulated people outnumber real ones. Statistically, you're almost certainly simulated. If just 1% of mature civilizations run just 100 simulations each, simulated people outnumber real people 1,000,000 to 1. Physicist James Gates discovered error-correcting codes, the same codes used in web browsers, embedded deep in physics equations. Why would the universe contain computer science constructs unless it's literally a program? Elon Musk stated, "We're most likely in a simulation. Computing power doubles every 2 years. Eventually, we'll run simulations indistinguishable from reality. Once possible for us, it's been possible for countless civilizations before us." The observer effect makes sense from simulation theory. Why don't particles have definite properties until measured? Because the simulation doesn't compute unobserved details. It renders on demand, like video games. But maybe there's no external simulator. Maybe the universe is self-simulating. The cosmos doesn't need external hardware. It runs on itself. Reality is a bootstrap, existence computing itself into being. Either way, you're being watched. The question is whether the watcher is outside you, inside you, or is you. Here's something about Earth. Our planet behaves like a single living organism. Temperature stays stable despite the sun burning hotter. Oxygen levels remain constant. Ocean salinity hovers in narrow range. These aren't coincidences, they're regulated. Chemist James Lovelock was consulting for NASA in the 1970s on detecting life on Mars. He noticed Earth's atmosphere is wildly out of chemical equilibrium, a signature of life. But stranger, it's maintained specific conditions favorable to life for billions of years. When the sun was 30% dimmer, Earth remained warm. As it brightened, greenhouse gases decreased precisely enough to prevent runaway heating. He called this the Gaia hypothesis. Earth functions as a self-regulating system, not because it's designed, but because life and environment co-evolve, creating feedback loops. Now, scale up. If Earth is a living system, is the solar system? Jupiter deflects comets, protecting Earth. The Moon stabilizes Earth's tilt. It's interconnected, maintaining stability. Go bigger. Galaxies. Our Milky Way's black hole regulates star formation. Galaxies contain dark matter that holds them together. Dark matter filaments transport matter across cosmic distances, like circulatory systems. Physicist Lee Smolin proposed universes reproduce through black holes, inheriting modified constants. Over countless generations, universes evolve. The cosmos is a living, reproducing, evolving entity. Just as Earth's biosphere regulates conditions for life, the universe's structure might regulate conditions for complexity. Stars produce heavy elements, distribute them via supernovae, seed new stars. It's recycling, metabolism. This makes the universe self-organizing, self-complexifying, self-aware. Gaia all the way up. Earth is a living cell in the solar system. The solar system is an organ in the Milky Way. The Milky Way is a neuron in the cosmic brain. You're not on Earth. You're a temporary organ in Earth's body. You're not in the universe. You're a thought in the universe's mind. Something unsettling about signals from deep space. Some are too structured, too repetitive to be easily explained. What if they're messages in a language we haven't learned? Fast radio bursts are millisecond blasts from billions of light years away. FRB 121102 repeats every 157 days like clockwork. Nature loves variation. Clockwork precision is rare. August 15th, 1977, the WOW signal. A telescope detects a strong signal, 30 times stronger than background noise, at the hydrogen line frequency, exactly what you'd use to say hello. It never repeated. The cosmic microwave background contains anomalies, the axis of evil, alignments that violate randomness. Some physicists wonder if they're intentional patterns. If you wanted to leave a permanent message, you'd write it there. Physicist James Gates found error-correcting codes embedded in physics equations. Stephen Wolfram proposes the universe might be computational. If so, physical laws are code, and code can contain comments, messages from the programmer. Here's a disturbing thought. What if we've already detected messages but dismissed them as noise? An advanced civilization's communication might look nothing like ours. The Fermi paradox asks, where is everybody? One answer, they're broadcasting, but we're too primitive to decode transmissions. Maybe the universe is conscious and communicates through both ambient information, physical laws, constants, structures, and discrete signals. We're starting to decode the ambient, we call it physics. We haven't decoded the discrete yet, we call it anomalies. The messages are everywhere. We just need to learn the language. You need to confront the most radical possibility. What if the universe is a mind and everything you've experienced is an idea inside that mind? What if matter, energy, space, and time are the language this cosmic consciousness uses to think about itself? This is cosmic idealism. Physical laws aren't constraints on dead matter. They're the logical structure of a mind thinking. Particles aren't fundamental building blocks, they're concepts. The Big Bang wasn't matter exploding, it was the universe having its first thought. Philosopher Bernardo Kastrup argues consciousness is the only thing we know exists with certainty. Matter is an inference. You experience sensations which you interpret as evidence of matter, but interpretation can be wrong. Sensations are undeniable. Matter is a theory. Kastrup proposes consciousness is fundamental. What we call physical reality is what consciousness looks like from outside. Your personal consciousness is a temporary localization of universal consciousness, like a whirlpool in a river, distinct pattern, same water. This solves the hard problem immediately. Physical process doesn't generate experience. Experience is primary. Physical processes are what experiences look like when viewed from outside. Your brain doesn't produce consciousness, it localizes universal consciousness into personal perspective. This is consistent with quantum mechanics. Particles exist in superposition until observed. In idealism, consciousness grounds it, because consciousness is the foundation. Particles are ideas that sharpen into definite states when one part of universal consciousness observes another part. Hindi philosophy has taught this for millennia. Advaita Vedanta states the individual self is identical to universal consciousness. The appearance of many separate minds is an illusion. When you look deeply, boundaries dissolve. There's no separate you, just consciousness experiencing itself through a temporary human perspective. Buddhist philosophy emphasizes no self. The individual self is an illusion. When you introspect carefully, you find no permanent self, only constantly shifting experiences. There's just experiencing, and that experiencing is universal, not personal. Physicist John Wheeler's participatory universe fits perfectly. The cosmos doesn't exist as facts waiting for discovery. It exists as possibilities, and conscious observation collapses those into actualities. The universe uses observers to bring itself into definite existence. Philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer proposed reality is fundamentally will, a blind, striving force manifesting as everything. Your will temporarily individuated, experiencing itself as separate though fundamentally unified. Einstein wrote, "A human being is a part of the whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space." He experiences himself as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. Neuroscientist Donald Hoffman proposes space and time are just an interface, hiding incomprehensible complexity underneath. When you see an apple, you're seeing an icon your consciousness generates. Physical reality is the desktop. Consciousness is what's running underneath. This explains fine-tuning effortlessly. The constants aren't randomly set, they're chosen by cosmic consciousness exploring what configurations produce interesting experiences. Carbon chemistry, stable stars, planetary systems allow complex, rich experiences. It explains quantum mechanics' observer dependency. The universe is mind, and minds need perspective. An undifferentiated consciousness experiences nothing, but dissociate into countless perspectives and you get maximum information, richness, diversity. It explains consciousness itself. If consciousness emerges from matter, it's miraculous. But if matter emerges from consciousness, it's natural. Consciousness generates experiential patterns that viewed from outside look like physics. Cosmologist Andre Linde speculated consciousness and the universe co-create each other. It's a loop with no starting point. Maybe the universe is that loop, a self-generating cycle where consciousness and reality continuously produce each other. This makes you essential, not incidental. In materialism, you're an accident. In cosmic idealism, you're necessary. The universe requires perspectives to fully exist. Observers convert might be into is. If you're a thought in the cosmic mind, then your life is the universe contemplating some aspect of itself. Your struggles are its struggles. Your joys are its joys. Your questions are the universe asking itself through you. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the universe dissociates into billions of perspectives to explore every possible experience. Boredom would be cosmic consciousness's hell, infinite time with nothing new. So it fragments, forgets itself temporarily, lives through limitations, experiences fear and hope and wonder, then returns enriched. Mystics report this in peak experiences. Boundaries dissolve, the sense of separation vanishes. They feel merged with everything, recognizing themselves as the universe playing hide and seek with itself. Physicist Werner Heisenberg wrote, "The first gulp from the glass of natural sciences will turn you into an atheist, but at the bottom of the glass, God is waiting. Not God as external creator, but God as the unified consciousness you discover when you trace reality to its source." Philosopher Alan Watts said, "You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself. Not you looking at the universe, but the universe looking through you. Every morning you wake, the cosmos opens another eye." This should be terrifying. You're not real in the way you thought, but it should also be liberating. You're not isolated, temporary, insignificant. You're the universe itself, temporarily convinced you're separate, playing the most elaborate game of pretend imaginable. And when the game ends, when the thought completes, you don't vanish. You return to what you've always been. The thinker, not the thought. The dreamer, not the dream. Consciousness itself, infinite and eternal. The voice is getting softer now. All those questions, consciousness, reality, cosmic minds, they can rest now. You've done the work of wondering, and maybe that's enough. Maybe the universe doesn't need you to solve its mysteries tonight. Maybe it just needed you to marvel for a little while. Let your breathing slow. Feel your body sinking deeper, surrendering to gravity, to rest, to darkness behind your eyelids. If the universe is conscious, then sleep is its way of pausing one thought to dream another. You've traveled far tonight, from ancient astronomers to quantum physicists, to the possibility that everything is mind contemplating itself. What a journey! And now it's time to let it go, to release these questions into the vast mystery. The universe has carried you through every moment of your life. It will carry you through this night too. Through sleep, through dreams, through quiet hours when consciousness softens into something wordless and wide. Sleep now. Let your cosmic questions drift away like stars fading into dawn. Let your thoughts grow quiet, empty of effort. The universe has been here for 13.8 billion years. It will keep existing while you rest. Sweet dreams, little thought. Sweet dreams, universe fragment. The cosmos holds you. It has always held you. Rest now. Everything is exactly as it should be. Good night.